Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Alps Panorama at the Northern Sea here in Farming Simulator 19. Not a clue, I've broken something there, I don't really know what it was. It was working, then we started the up and down bit on the field work and it decided it didn't like it anymore, so we're going to have to manually do this. I will miss the fact that we were cruising along at 60k picking everything up, and now we're going back to a more sedate 20k. And quite honestly, this does feel like a bit of a letdown now. We were doing so well, it was coming along so nicely, wasn't it? And then we were like filling everything up, but it didn't like the fact that we were getting to the end of it there. It definitely didn't like the fact that we were going to be having to do sort of things, going up and down the rows. We wouldn't have been able to make those turns every time. I could have tried just leaving it, and it would have struggled to do the turning. But it would have, I mean, I guess it would have still managed to get through it eventually. It's just that it would have been quite difficult for it. So, yes, the Courseplay does work. And we can use it for things like this. But honestly, I think that we're going to be better off making it into a proper field. And I should be able to use the Courseplay to make this into a proper field, actually. I mean, I'll do the outside round myself, and then we can use Courseplay to go and finish off making this into a proper field. And then once it's done, the whole making it into a proper field, we've then got this extra field that we can use next year, and that will be absolutely grand. We'll be able to go and do everything on that. This is definitely going to take a lot longer than we have done up till now. It's been great, but yeah, we don't want to be spending all of our time whizzing along at 60k. I'm still not really sure why it went and did that, though. That bit doesn't actually make any sense to me, why it was running at 60k. Probably because it thought that it was supposed to be a mower or something. I don't really know. Because it sort of, it did also have the beacons running, and the beacons running should have been an indication to us that something wasn't right there somewhere. I don't really know what it was that wasn't right, but anyway, let's get this one over to the silage clamp and get it unloaded, and then we'll come back. We'll start doing a little bit more on land work. The Xerion is actually almost done, so once that one has finished, I'm gonna it's still going there. Once the Xerion has finished, I'm going to bring that one back over, and I'm going to put that one into one of the grass fields, and we're going to use the AI vehicle extension this time and run that one around the edge of the field. We will sit with it and we will watch the AI vehicle extension and make sure that it does actually go around the field properly, and that we don't need to do anything to help it out while it's going along. You know, it would probably be a good idea if I didn't unhitch while I'm going along, but I actually started unloading the trailer instead. Big difference between the two. There is a massive difference between unloading the thing and just dropping the trailer off as we go racing through. I'm just imagining what it'd be like if you did that in real life. Like if you had a run through clamp and you went flying up through. Xerion has reached the trigger end point. If you went flying up through the clamp in real life, you're working with someone and you go racing through the yard into the clamp, you go racing up through the clamp, and you just dump the trailer behind you as you go. Obviously, it's going to rip out all of the pipes. It's going to rip out it's going to just destroy everything. You just sort of drop it with this almighty crash and sail off into the distance without a care in the world. That would be such a beautiful way to hand in your notice. It's just like, you know what? I've had enough of this. I just go flying off through. That would be absolutely beautiful. It really would. It would be, truly, it would be poetry in motion. Right, I'm going to do that so that it clears the course, and I'm going to do that so that we don't have it here at all. And this one is done. But can you imagine what it would be like if you just dumped your trailer as you went through the clamp and just carried on driving? Anybody that works in agriculture, just for a moment, picture the look on, like, if you work for someone else. If you own your own place, it's entirely up to you what you do. You can do that and imagine the incredulous look on everybody else's face. But yeah, it's kind of up to you what you do, really, when you run in your own place. Oh, that is AI vehicle extension right there. Right, that's already gone a little bit hinky, so we'll do that. And then I'll go here, and I'll go to you, and... Alright, it goes all the way down to 0 on there. Precision of AI vehicle, normal, precision, high. Let's go high precision, shall we? Okay. Let's back you up a bit. And then I'm going to start this one off. Yeah, I would just like you to picture for a minute the look, if you work for someone else particularly, the look on your boss's face if you were to go and do something like that. Would it be worth it? Would this be something you would like to see? Would you like to see your boss just standing there like a fish out of water, his mouth opening and closing, just sort of, like, you all know what it would be like. You all know what he would be like. What are you doing? This is not precision work. This is... Well, mind you, he is going around a load of sharp corners right here, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Just let him come back up and get hung up on the fence, and then come over this way and... What are you doing now? Yeah, I'm just thinking that he's struggling with this. The whole idea is that he's not supposed to be struggling. He's supposed to just get on and do it. So let's go start you, and then Control V and lower that one down, and that should lower down the back ones like that. Just going to help him out a little bit here, just show him that, you know, he can get on and do some work here. We've got a little patch missing there when there should be no patches missing. So I'll bring you up this way like that, and then we will spin round up this end. There we go. Like that. And I'm going to bring it to there, and then I'm going to press H, and I'm going to hope that it's able to continue on a little bit. I think the fact that we've got one on the front and the ones on the back as well, it is struggling with it a little bit. It's also the wiggly nature of the field. We know that they don't like wiggly natures. Right, they do seem to struggle with those. If there's a lot of twists and turns, it can struggle with it. Confuses the issues quite considerably. It's coming around here all right now. This is because it's not like sharp twists and turns. This is gentle curves. It likes gentle curves. As long as we've got lots of gentle curves, it will be fine. So it's going to go up to there, and it's going to... Oh, I see. Right, this one is raising and lowering everything all at once. Bringing it out to there. Oh no, front and then back one down. Right, okay. So it is raising and lowering everything all at once, which is an odd way of doing it. Now, we did request precision from these machines. This is not precision. That doesn't seem to be very precise at all, actually. That seems to be very unprecise. And then over to there. Right. Well, it's made a bit of a pig's ear of the outside round, but I guess that's my fault. If I'd done the outside round myself, it probably would have coped a little better. How's it going to deal with the tree? That's the next thing. Will it be able to get round that tree, or is it going to be too much for it? It's going to go up to here. It's actually going to just stop and do more weird stuff. What are you doing? Why can't you just go round that corner? I gave it 100% on the turns. So you're supposed to be turning at 100%. You're not supposed to be doing... You're supposed to be doing this. This is just madness, I tell you. Madness. It's utterly ludicrous. There is no need for this nonsense. At least he's got past the tree. At least he's managed to do that one little bit. He's gotten past the tree. He's going to come up here onto this corner. He's probably going to struggle with this as well. Bring you up to there. Right, now you're going to stop. Yeah, I'm not really sure I'm going to go and pick this lot up after this. lesson learned here. AI vehicle extension is a wonderful tool, but it would appear that it's better us doing the outside round ourselves and then allowing the AI vehicle extension to pick up where we've left off. So in future, we might just want to go and do that with the with the other fields that we've got. And yes, I know I could have done it with Courseplay, but I wanted to see how the two compared. Look at this. That bit right there. It really didn't like that, did it? Okay, I'm gonna put it out of it. That is terrible. It's because of where it already gone in and cut, isn't it? So it's not really a lot that we can do about that. Let's lower that one in there. Wait, I already said Control V there. Right, Control V that bit. Go up through there like that, and then back up a bit. And now go up through here like this. Over there, just going to bring it over a little bit and start going again. Now, what's it going to do over here? How bad is it going to do this? Is it going to just shave off the corner there and straighten it up? Well, at least it's brought it out that far. It's sort of brought it to there, and it's decided that it's not going to completely screw everything up. He says, as it does a weird turning thing again, and maybe I shouldn't have this on high precision. Maybe we need to have this on normal precision. I'm thinking that high precision might be a bit too much for it. I got to remember that this isn't actually a combine that's doing the work. It's the tractors. And the AI vehicle extension is not as good when it comes to tractor work as it is with the combines. The combine is where this particular mod shines. That is really what it was, and that was what it was originally made for. It was originally done for combines, and then they added in the tractor bit as like an afterthought because, well, you know, it works for combines. Let's see if we can get it to work for tractors. And for the most part, it did. It sort of worked out all right. Now, what's he doing? He's going to stick with that line there. He's going to run that one through. I'm just going to leave it go like that. Let me go back that way. There we go. Right, we need to go back through three of them. I'm going to leave that one go like that, and I'm going to come in here, and we are going to continue on gathering up some of this. So we are now manually gathering up this lot. So we're going to... Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this bit, and then we'll head over to the smaller bit over there. And yeah, I am going to gather up some of these little bits of grass lying on the ground. I'm not going to worry about going for all of them, just because I don't really think it's necessary. It does bug me a bit that we'll be leaving some behind, but it doesn't bug me so much that I want to go back over the whole field and gather it all up, because quite frankly I think it's going to be a very, very boring exercise in absolute tedium if I was to go and do that. And I think that all of you are going to get bored with that as well. You're probably going to get bored with watching me just driving up and down the field doing this particular job anyway. Now, what are you doing over there? Why are you off the outside edge of the... What exactly are you doing? I'm thinking that the precision option on it was a bit of a lie. That's politicians' precision, that is. It looks good on paper, but when it actually gets down to it, yeah, it's not quite so good, is it? That is a politician's precision there. He's about to wallop into the tree, I think. Oh, no, he missed the tree. Right, well, credit where it's due. He did at least manage to miss the tree. I can bring this back over this way and head up onto that bit. Right through there and round. There. Now, a couple more passes, I think, and we'll have another load. We've got... What have we got over in the clamp now? We must have over 200 that. We're pretty sure we've done 4 loads. And maybe we've done 5. I think we may have done 5. So we could be looking at 250,000 litres of silage over there already. We're going to have to think about doing some compression on that one, which means that we're going to need to think about what tractor we're going to use. I'm thinking most likely it's going to be the Challenger, because that's the one that's got the triple wheels on it. The T9 doesn't have the T9's got the doubles, although the triples on the T9 are narrower, so they actually take up the same width as what the doubles do. The T9, I've made no secret of the fact that the T9 is my favourite of the articulated tractors, which does surprise me because, generally speaking, I was never very fond of New Holland tractors. When I was working on farms for a living, the New Holland tractors were always sort of the cheap option that nobody really wanted to use. And there was a reason for that. They just sort of felt cheap and tacky. When you were in the tractor itself, it just felt cheap and tacky. The whole sort of layout and all of the bits in there. You sat in a John Deere and it had this touch of luxury about it. It was really, it had this fantastic touch of luxury about it, whereas the New Holland didn't. It didn't have that touch of luxury. It was cheap plastic, console, all of it, all the controls, it was all cheap plastic, and it didn't sort of, it felt like they had made it as cheaply as possible. I mean, obviously they had made it as cheaply as possible. That's why there were so many New Hollands around. It was because something that, it was a vehicle that farmers could afford, right? You could actually afford to drive that thing. The other sides to it were, you know, some people did prefer the New Holland, and some people prefer the John Deere, based purely on one thing. They didn't care what the cab was like. They cared about the fact that the New Holland, the seat was set further forward in the cab. So, generally speaking, you had more room for your crib bag in behind you, your dinner bag. We call it a crib bag here in Cornwall, where I'm from. You had more room for your crib bag behind the seats. The John Deere, the seat was generally set a bit further back in the cab, and there was very little space behind you for your crib bag. So you struggled to fit your crib bag in there. You had to sort of stash that somewhere else in the cab because it wouldn't always fit behind the seat. Whereas in the New Holland, you could be sure that your crib bag would fit behind you on the seat without any problems. And I know quite a few people, that was the deciding factor. That was the reason that they preferred New Holland over John Deere, was the fact that they could put their crib bag behind them. And it was out of the way. Me, I was a slave to luxury. I absolutely was. And I picked John Deere over New Holland every single time because it was just much more comfortable. I've never driven a Fendt, ever. Not once in my life have I ever driven a Fendt, so I have no idea what they're like. I have been told that they are the Rolls-Royce of tractors. We've got 4 loads we've tipped in here so far, so this is going to make 250,000 litres. But yeah, I'd never driven a Fendt in real life. I've never had the privilege of being able to operate one of these bad boys. But back when I was driving, Fendt was not very well known. Certainly not very well known and very common in my area, and nobody drove them. It was, you know, John Deere, Case, Massey Ferguson, those were all around. But Case, Massey Ferguson, they were kind of middle of the line. And a lot of the work that I did was working on bigger farms. And it wasn't sort of a case, like Case and Massey Ferguson, you didn't see them very often. And I think the main reason was because the farm literally just looked at it, right, do we go for luxury or do we go for cheap? That was the simple choice between the two. Do we go for the cheapest one we can get, or do we get a bit of luxury and reliability? Because the John Deere had the name for being the ultimate in reliability. New Holland had the name for being the ultimate in cheap. And so it's literally just a choice between the two. So I spent a lot of time driving both of those two vehicles. And I mean, I always preferred, like I said, I did definitely prefer the John Deere. I liked the John Deere. So given that I'd always associated New Holland with cheap and nasty, and I'd never been particularly fond of New Holland, it has taken me quite by surprise that, certainly in this game at least, when it comes to the articulated tractors, hands down for me, every single time I would pick the T9, because I think it just looks the coolest of all of the machines. But I'm looking at it from the outside. I'm not sat in the machine and driving it. So if I was inside it and driving it, once I gotten used to the fact that I was driving an articulated tractor, I could very well prefer the quad track or something like that. I don't know. I've no idea what handling is like, because I've never driven one of those machines. The only articulated things I've driven are little tiny rollers and things like that for doing groundworks, you know, compacting tarmac and things like that, or articulated telehandlers and wheel loaders. I've driven those, but I've never driven an articulated tractor. Right, well, a few things have had to change since I did my last recording session. I do normally like to sort of blend seamlessly from one into the next. I haven't actually cleaned up the stuff over here, so I will just do that while I explain the horrors of what I have encountered. After I finished doing my recording for last week's videos, I went to save the game and everything crashed. It was horrifying. I lost all of it. So I had to redo it. Now, the reason that it crashed was because of Courseplay. It wasn't entirely because of Courseplay. It was because of there are a few mods that have issues with Courseplay. So it's not necessarily Courseplay itself. It's these mods. There's something about them that conflicts with Courseplay. I don't know what it is, but one of those that is two of them that I had loaded. Well, one of them that I wasn't actually using. It was one of the MAN TGS lorries that has the IT runner thing modded onto the back of it. If you have a look in the shop right here, you can see we've got one of the MAN TGS. We've got that one there, right? There's another one that's in red. Well, that one's in red on there, but in the screenshot pictures, if we go back, that one's in brown. In greeny blue, sort of teal green color. Anyway, that one's fine. The other one, that the pictures are in red, that one has a conflict and it will obliterate your save game. The other one is the tractor that is now missing from our yard right here, that was fastened onto that seed drill right there. Yes, it is the IMT. That wonderful, wonderful IMT. That one also has a major conflict with Courseplay, and if you want Courseplay, you cannot have that tractor. So I had to get rid of it. It took me a while to find a list of actual known issues. So I did try again, and I ended up sort of losing about an hour and a half of time altogether. Well, more than that, probably 2 or 3 hours of time. Ended up getting lost. Not only did I lose the original save game, but I lost a load more because I was trying a load of different things and it just wouldn't work. So in the end, I did eventually find this list. I got the correct mods removed, and then Courseplay is now working. So I've got Courseplay, and I've got it working. I had to redo this, and you can see that the lines are going the other way to what I had them. We did have them going across the field this way, but it does actually work better going up and down the field like that. I cannot get this tractor to load those courses, to load the course. If I bring this one along, I mean, it doesn't seem to want to go to those lines anyway. See, if I bring up Courseplay here, and we go in here, and we load, so I had two of them here, so it's the top one that I want. If I go to that one right there, this is the one that I want. I'm going to go back round over to the start of this one, over here. I'm going to bring that one all the way over here like this, to this point, about here. There we go. And then we go back to here, and then I go to course generation. So that's the outline of the field that we've got. This down here, we had it on 9 meters, so I need to click this up through to 9 meters a minute. There, I've got that onto 9 meters. Now, it says on there, I'm wondering if I should try this with no headland. I'm going to go with skip rows 2 just to see if that works or not. It might. Actually, no, we'll go skip rows 1. I did the mowing with skip rows 2, and that worked really well, but it was still doing some sharp turns on the ends of the line, so I'm not sure. So we'll try it with no headland, and we'll generate a course. There. I've got a course. I can't see the lines on the course. Lane offset, turn on field pathfinding, opposite direction. I'm just wondering. Any HUD, show waypoints. Ah! Right. Get rid of that a minute. See, I'm looking at this here, and I'm wondering if it's going to... See, it's not. It's not going in line with the lines on the... where the mowing is. So I don't think we can use Courseplay to generate a new course that is going to go in exactly the same place as the old course. I just can't see it working. So I can get rid of this course that I've now got in here. I can go there and I can get rid of it completely. And then I can go back over to here and I can load up this course right here. That's the one there, and it starts on that, and we do once around the edge of the field. Then I go to here and I go course generation. Now, for the previous time that I did it, I did 3 headland passes like that. I still had... I'm going to go skip row 2 like that, and I'm going to generate the field course again. There. This time it's gone completely wrong. Look. It's going all the way across the field. I don't want it to do that either. So this isn't going to work. Not for this bit, at least. So we're going to keep that one gotten rid of. Oh, and yes, I did get a different forage wagon. The one that I had was great, but because I was doing so much testing, I ended up getting the Stevie one that takes 90,000 litres. And I don't regret this decision. Right, carrying 90,000 litres with me at one time is significantly faster than carrying the 56,000 that the other one does. So I don't regret this decision at all, and I'd like to stick with it. But we're not going to be able to use Courseplay to pick up the grass here, because it's not picking up. Now, I think what I need to do is generate the course, and then after I've generated the course, I then need to save it. But because I didn't actually do that when I generated the course the first time round, then it's not going to let me do it now. I'm not going to be able to regenerate a new course. So that's where I went wrong on that bit, I think. And so far, I've had people offering to give me some very in-depth tutorials with this game, with Courseplay, and I really, really do appreciate that. I appreciate the offers. I've had quite a few people offering to give me some in-depth tutorials on this now, and really show me what I can get out of Courseplay. And yes, I do appreciate it. I don't want to seem ungrateful, but I don't want to get any tutorials on it just yet. I'm liking the idea of working my way through it, going on what I learned last time, and I think I've done all right so far. I mean, I managed to generate a brand new course and make this field all the way through, so I think I was doing all right with that. When we come to plough this field up next year, we are going to have to level off this huge, great big hump right in the middle of the field here. There's a huge, massive, great big hump here that we're going to need to get rid of. We're going to just come up here. I'm going to fill this one up. So, yeah, I didn't even bother starting on the next field. I know we'd already started on that when we left off, but that's fine. We can go back to that one. It's not going to cause any problems whatsoever. We can just go back to it, and we can carry on with our work over there. So we'll just get this little bit right here, and that should be just about a full load, I should think. It's not going to be far off of a full load. We will probably have to, yeah, we will have to start on the next bit. I've got some loads over there. Obviously, I've done the rounds around the outside of the field and gone and picked those up. And those did actually work on Courseplay, and then it was after that Courseplay bit sort of stopped working. So you'll notice on some of the sharp corners that... Well, it's not that it stopped working. It's because I didn't save the course. When I switched over, I went to a different course. And... Actually, no. No, it didn't. I generated a new course on here, and... Then what I got was the outside rounds were exactly where the outside rounds were with the mower, but it was the straight lines in the middle of the field. This is the ones that didn't generate properly. So I'll bring this one back over to here, and then we're going to stop here a second and bring you up to there. Right, stop you right there, and then we're going to go over to EU, and we are going to start doing the mowing here now. Well, that's about all we've got time for in today's episode, so we're going to go and take a little bit of a break. We need to chill out on the beach, relax, and build up some strength. So while we're doing that, if you've enjoyed the episode, then could you please head down below and give us a like? And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.